A little while ago, I was left a comment suggesting that I should play the game My Eyes Deceive by Brachystroia, because it touches on a very serious and disturbing topic without playing it up for shock value or really showing you anything directly, and I'm always here for games that are willing to tackle these subjects with care, so let's get into it. My Eyes Deceive is a short horror game where you play as a young girl living in a bunker. This living area is sectioned into a bedroom, a kitchen, a bathroom, and a play space. Every morning you wake up, you take your medicine, get some food, wash yourself, and then wait for Father. It's very clear that the child you play as is quite young, from her height relative to the furniture to the way she writes in her diary each day. And each day, Father talks to you through the trapdoor, telling you stories of the outside world and how dangerous it is. He tells you about monsters, what a mess it is out there, and to beware human voices that aren't his, even making up a password so you know it's really him and not a monster pretending to be him. He warns you not to make a sound if you hear other voices, because these are monsters, and it would be terrible if they found you. He brings you food every morning and insists that you take your medicine every day, telling you it's important because it keeps you from getting infected, even though it always makes you very tired, forcing you to sleep most of the time. There is a pervasive sense of unease as you go through each day, following your routine, listening to Father, doing as you're told. Going into the game without prior knowledge, it's left unclear if Father is lying to you or not. It's a game, after all. He could be telling the truth about an apocalypse. You could already be infected, and he's trying to protect you from being discovered by other people. But no. The truth is nothing so fanciful or heroic. It's the polar opposite. It's one of the absolute worst things someone can do. There comes a point in the game where Father doesn't visit for a few days, leaving you to your own devices as you eat some leftover food, water your plants, play on your little tablet, all the while wondering where Father is. The child is experiencing dreams and nightmares involving the trapdoor, the stairs, and the outside world. She dreams of running through dark and claustrophobic tunnels, frightened of a lumbering humanoid monster that towers over her, all of it seen through fuzzy, swimming vision. Like someone under the effects of a sedative. Without any word from Father after a few days, you're presented with the choice to not take your medicine. I chose not to, leading to a dream where the child navigates an oppressive dark red maze. There are large chains here that you can break, and at each one you're discouraged from doing so, but not prevented. When the Father finally comes back, you lie to him about taking your pills and pretend to go to sleep. Everything is dark. You hear footsteps slowly come down the stairs and approach the bed. Father asks if you're awake, and when he gets no response, he says, "All right, let's get to it then." And then you hear the sound of a belt being undone. He is mercifully interrupted by a doorbell, expressing frustration at the timing he leaves to deal with it, and we realize that he didn't close the trapdoor, clearly assuming it would be fine because we're sedated. At this point, you can finally leave the bunker, navigate through a basement, and find your way outside where you see the sun for the first time. The game ends with a message from the devs to survivors, encouraging them to reach out, praising them for their bravery, and reassuring them that they are not alone. There is, of course, another path where you continue to take the medication, and you continue to trust that Father has your best interest at heart. You experience a dream where you're stuck in a loop of the bunker. The space is bathed in dim red light, and each time you loop, more and more chains appear. When Father comes back, he gives you an apple, same as the other path, but when you go to sleep you don't wake up on day 8, but day 147, leading to an absolutely harrowing line of text the next time you talk to him. This game managed to unsettle and chill me more than the Lust for Darkness games did at any point, which is the video that the comment was left on. And it did it without ever actually showing me what was happening. All it needed was just the sound of a belt buckle being undone to convey the truth of what was really going on here. There was no screaming child, no drawn-out sounds of a struggle, no audible rhythm of the crime itself being committed. Just the single noise of a belt buckle. Ironically, less is more can be an overused concept, but I do find it has a lot of value when it comes to the horror that touches on extremely sensitive topics like and in my personal opinion, you don't need to show it to get the point across, and you should ask yourself why a scene needs to be this way before you go ahead with it. That isn't to say no one is allowed to depict a rape scene, but if you're going to do that, then you have to accept that you're going to be criticized and questioned over it. For example, you can't hinge the plot of your film on a brutal rape that is followed by the husband of the victim demanding sex with her after finding out about it, so that the rapist isn't the last man to know her. Ugh. And then complain that young people don't support adult cinema to excuse why it did poorly at the box office. It might just be that most people don't particularly want to sit through a film like that, not least of which a film that presents a romanticized version of what happened because it's told from 3 different perspectives, of which the woman's is the last rather than the central perspective. My point, as usual, is that these kinds of topics need to be handled with care and forethought. Being explicit isn't automatically going to mean commercial failure, nor does it mean your work is automatically of lesser artistic value. But what it does mean is that you will draw criticism. It will push away people who, for whatever reason, don't want to be exposed to it. And you should at least ask yourself if this is really the best way to convey what's happening in your story. Thank you for watching, don't forget to drink your water, take your meds, be kind to yourselves, and I will see you all next time.